What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, and I'm back. After we got our asses kicked, we're going to talk about it. What's some of the takeaways from this game? Anything positive to take away from it? What was up with that play calling? We'll get into all that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
All right, Bears fans. So it's a tough day after a loss in which the Bears just did not look good. They every critique that's been thrown the Chicago Bears way almost reared its ugly head in this game. All the hate, all the doubt that was thrown towards us. This game was just one of those games in which you look at and you question a lot. Like, we started off good. That first drive, that opening drive, the creative play calling, all looked great, all looked good, all looked like what we expected and wanted to see from this team. The thing that bothered me the most in this loss was the fact that it seemed like the moment that they started facing some adversity, we went away from trying creative things. Yes, we did find success in the running game. We found that, luckily, thank God for that. But the lack of really the throw attempts, pass attempts down the field, I know that this is going to be a run-heavy team. And Luke Getsy, Justin Fields afterwards, when asked about why he only had 11 attempts, said that Luke Getsy said that they were going to run it down their throats. And we knew and expected coming into the season this to be a season in which the Chicago Bears were going to run heavily and probably use Cole Kmet. And shout out to my dad, by the way, who had a great post on Facebook afterwards saying that Cole Kmet basically sucks. I'm still not in that mindset. I still do think Cole Kmet can have a big season for the Chicago Bears. I think we got to get back to being creative. I think we got to utilize players a little bit more. Some of the issues that I had with this game, for example, Darnell Mooney targeted once so far. Once. No, I'm sorry, he was targeted twice. He had one reception for -4 yards. Of course, the only 11 pass attempts. Justin Fields' QB rating being terrible. Like, there was a lot to go. And when you talk about the matchup of the quarterbacks in this game, this was a tale of a young, inexperienced quarterback who isn't really trusted to do anything outside of be a game manager right now. This is just what it is. This is my opinion that they are using Justin Fields as a game manager right now. And then Aaron Rodgers, when you look at the comparison between these two players, Aaron Rodgers having going 19 for 25, 234 yards. Yes, both quarterbacks were sacked 3 times. Aaron Rodgers, a QB rating of 131.1. You had Justin Fields on the other hand, 7 for 11 in this game, 70 yards, 1 interception, 3 sacks. And, only 11 attempts is not going to cut it. The running game in this, David Montgomery was cooking in this game. 15 carries, 122 yards, only 15 carries. Then again, we had Khalil Herbert with 4 carries and 38 yards overall. This was the thing this is what hurt this team. Like, just looking at the output of this game, it bothered me. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. This game just was one of those games that just hurt. We faced a better team, right? A team that still had some issues that I thought we can take advantage of. We did hit Aaron Rodgers as much as I wanted to. We had 3 sacks in this game, 4 QB hits. That's what you want to kind of see. On the other end of that, the Green Bay Packers had 3 sacks with 5 QB hits. So not a huge discrepancy there between the ability to pressure the quarterback, but the difference is, and some people will blame the offensive line. I look at this, it was some of that, right? But also, I do think that Justin Fields held onto the ball too long in a lot of situations that ended up hurting the team. He had the slip there. There are a couple of missed block opportunities and stuff like that in this game that just really, really bothered me coming out of this game. And it just, listen, I'm a Bears fan through and through. The Bears live. I love, for those who listen or watch Chicago Bulls Central, I love basketball with every fiber of my being, but I live football. It's a completely different story there. And so, and this is what I hesitated so long of starting this channel for. And luckily, C-Dub and Bobby were able to join me and be a part of this channel and things like that. Because seeing this team lose, seeing the Bears lose in this fashion, it always is going to bother me. It's always going to hurt. It's always going to be something that I can't separate the emotion from just the analyst of being. But this game just was not a good game played. They lost in every facet of the game, period. When you look at it, it just, there's no way around sugarcoating that. They only converted 1 of 7 on third downs, whereas the Green Bay Packers were 5 for 9 on third downs in that. Total yards for the Chicago Bears, 228 to the 414 for the Green Bay Packers. This was not a game that you're going to win when you get into situations like that. So what are some of the takeaways from this and some of the things that we can look for to build off of, learn from as a team? First up, Justin Fields has to be more aware. He has to be. He has to be more aware of being in the pocket. He has to be more aware of where people are going to be situationally. We saw some of that breakdown. I'm not blaming the loss completely on Justin Fields, but we did see that in this game. As far as Luke Getsy and his play calling, some of the plays called in this, I'm sorry, I'm not using this to sensationalize, but it felt very Matt Nagy-like. And even that shotgun play down on the goal line, whether you think it was a touchdown or not, we know Justin Fields and a lot of Bears fans still do think that it was a touchdown. I'm of two minds with it. There were times, certain angles where it did look like a touchdown. There was an angle in which I literally said, there's no way in hell that's a touchdown. But then different angles gave different perspectives on it for me. But listen, Luke Getsy and his commitment to the run, even though it paid off as far as you're looking at the stats, there were times in which you wanted and needed to make a play down the field because the Green Bay Packers at one point just realized it's not going to be a threat for them to make or attempt plays down the field. So guess what? We're going to pack it in. We're going to prepare for the run. And like I said, while we did face and get some success in the run game, it was not nearly enough to win a game like this. Another thing, a takeaway from this game, what is going on with the attempts to Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet? Even if you want to say, I know some Bears fans aren't high on Cole Kmet. I came into the season very high on what Cole Kmet, the work ethic that he put in, the way he changes his body, everything. Still think Cole Kmet is poised to have a big season for the Chicago Bears. But what's going on with the lack of attempts to Darnell Mooney? What's going on with our passing game overall? There's some very alarming things. Yeah, we didn't expect to be this amazingly just dependent on the pass team or anything like this. We know it's something that was going to come along. I've been very, 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 very vocal on the fact that I've been saying for weeks and weeks, it's going to take time for the Chicago Bears offense to come along fully. But the lack of attempts down the field, the lack of attempts to Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet, what is happening? What is happening? That's the problem. That's a problem. While players like St. Brown, even Ryan Griffin are getting more passes and plays for them outside of Darnell Mooney. Now, some people could say, hey, maybe the other teams are preparing for Darnell Mooney because he is the biggest threat. Okay, I understand that. So to say, but get creative with your play calling. The lack of calls and targets for both Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet is super alarming for this team. Another takeaway, the running game is going to be good. The running game is going to be good, period. The running game is going to be solid. It's going to be something that we can bet on. If you do that, it's going to be good. It's something that we have to put our pins in, but it can't just be that if we're going to find success. Another takeaway, stop rotating offensive linemen. I get it in preseason. I got it during training camps. I got it. You were trying to find out a combination that works. We need to find that and stick to it. Stop rotating the offensive linemen. Stick them in. If Lucas Patrick isn't ready, he can't snap the ball, leave his ass out the game. Stop rotating it as much as it happens. Listen, Tevin Jenkins needs time in there. He's been successful when it comes in there. This rotating with him and Lucas Patrick when Patrick isn't able and ready to snap the ball is not doing nothing but giving us more issues on our offensive line than we already have. We need to figure that the hell out. We need to figure it out. Kyler Gordon, next takeaway, I don't know what Kyler Gordon had. In week one, he had that one play where it seemed like he fell asleep. He responded to it well. He had several mistakes in this game. Aaron Rodgers targeted Kyler Gordon early and often, and listen, they won that battle against Kyler Gordon, period. They won the battle against Kyler Gordon. That's it. That's it. Gordon was targeted, according to this, 13 times. That's over half of Aaron Rodgers' attempts for the game. And he allowed 10 completions for 162 yards and a touchdown in the times that he was targeted. They picked on Kyler Gordon early. They did it often, and they found success in it. Kyler Gordon's going to have to go. He's going to have to watch some tape, and he's going to have to figure it out. The Packers avoided going to Jalen Johnson. They did it, period. He was not targeted at all in this game. They did not target whoever Jalen Johnson was guarding in this game at all. So Kyler Gordon is going to have to step up. He's going to have to learn and go through the fire because guess what? This is the NFL, baby. And while we trust, and as a fandom, we trust in that potential of Kyler Gordon, he's going to have to step up and figure it out, period. He's going to have to figure it the hell out because he right now is a weakness in our pass game. And that's not something I necessarily expected coming into the season to be saying about Kyler Gordon. They're going to have to figure it the hell out. Period. Travis Gibson is ready. He's ready. He's going to have a season. this pass rush in general is still legit. Our pass rush is going to be legit, period. Travis Gibson is going to continue to have big years. We didn't get to see as much from like Dominique Robinson. Alquilin Muhammad didn't have a bunch either, but you know what it is? Gibson was on the field for 23 plays. 23 plays was Travis Gibson on the field for yesterday, which was only 34% of the total snaps available. He needs to play more. He needs to play more. Put him in the game more because we're finding success when he's in the game. That's my takeaways from this game. Like I said, it's not a lot of positives, and I didn't want to be disingenuous and try to pull some positives from it when I really don't feel it. I really don't feel it. The offense overall gets an F for me. The defense gets a solid C- to a D for me in this game. Special teams. I guess they get a B by it. And the coaching staff. Coaching in this game gets an overall F for me because the situations that we were put in and the way that we didn't adjust like we did slightly. Let me take that back. See, this is where I got to separate my emotions from being analytical. We made adjustments, and some of those adjustments were successful overall. But the play calling in general on both sides of the ball was uninspired and didn't leave me feeling as good as I did in the second half of last week after adjustments. I trust and I think this team is going to figure it the hell out. I think that they can. I hope that they will. But at the end of the day, maybe they needed this punch in the face to wake up. We got Houston coming next week, which if we lose against Houston, I'm going to warn you guys right now. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it, especially at home. Don't be surprised if I'm just yelling at the microphone, if I'm just pissed off, right? I'm trying. I started Chicago Bears Central. Yes, because I love the Bears, but I was doing Bulls, and people could tell my love of the Bears because they kept asking. I was asked to start the Bears channel. I kept putting it off, and I eventually decided to do it. But I'm not going to lie. Emotionally, I'm still trying to reel in from this, man. That's just me. I'm a Bears fan through and through, man. But that is it for me for today. Make sure you're following the show at Shy Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and or voicemail, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related because of you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, bear down, go Bears. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.